All right, so it is officially 2023. And I have to say, I am over excited, super elated to kick 2022 smack dab in the ass. I mean, it was really not a great year for me. I suffered with some bouts of deep depression. I think it's going around in the economy. My business isn't making as much money as I normally am bringing in. And that was pretty stressful, trying to figure out, my new marketing model, my new business model, right? After being in business for 21 years. And it's just been a whirlwind with, family members that were sick, the ups and downs of dating. So listen, 2022 was not my finest hour. And as I was sitting back this week, I was focused on all the things that were going wrong. And I think we all do that, right? We all focus on the shit that has us upset, right? And so as I was scrolling through my camera roll, preparing to do a 2022 recap reel, I started looking, and there were some pretty fantastic things that happened as well. And they were so overshadowed by the dark stuff and the heavy stuff that I just kind of forgot to be in a space of gratitude, to carry that energy of gratitude with me. And that usually is my normal disposition and normal focus. But when things get heavy and things get dark, sometimes you can get off track and get off course. So let me just share with you, like I talked about the depression and the relationships and the business woes and family problems, but let's look at the shit that happened for me that was really, really great, okay? So first of all, I made my appearance on Roland Martin Unfiltered. They did a show, a segment on me about my weight loss, right? So I've lost about 200 pounds. So at my heaviest, I was about 500 pounds, but I learned a lot of life lessons from being that size, right? And so it was newsworthy, right? And because I had gastric bypass surgery in 2019 and I lost the weight 2019, 2020, I just really kind of forgot about the fact that I had done this on my journey. Okay, so that reminded me of how far that I've come in the last couple of years. Okay, so that was the first thing, the Roland Martin thing. Number two thing, right, was I taught my very first course for LinkedIn, right? And so it's now on the LinkedIn Learning platform. I'll release details about this later. But the fact that they selected me out of all the folks that they could have selected as subject matter experts to produce a course. I flew out to California, there was a production crew. I said, I had to write scripts and things like that. And so now it's something that will live on the LinkedIn Learning platform forever. I think for a subject matter expert, that's pretty freaking phenomenal. All right. And then I had a set of clients that are in business for themselves, and they had their own reality show, right? So imagine seeing your brand strategies, your work, all of this kind of stuff on national television, because they revealed a lot of the things we've done and put together. And so in addition to seeing them soar and make it to Bravo, right, which is the pinnacle of reality TV networks. In addition to seeing clients rise to that level, my work is now featured. So that was pretty freaking awesome. I went to a New Edition concert. So my best friend from childhood, I left home at 17. We went our separate ways, and we've never lived in the same city for the last 30 years until recently. And she was like, hey, you want to go to a New Edition concert? So we never got together. We never did like the sleepovers in college. We never did the concerts and the partying. We didn't go through that phase together. So now we're both 50-ish, and we're doing things like that together. So going to the New Edition concert, which is one of my favorite groups of all time. It's so great, so nostalgic. Going to the concert with her in that moment of nostalgia was just, I can't even verbally describe how amazing it was to have that connection and that experience with her. And number 5, I've gone through 4. Roland Martin, LinkedIn, the clients on the reality show, the New Edition concert, and number 5, which just happened, was I spent Christmas in LA. In Las Vegas. So I went to Las Vegas for Christmas week. I was in Las Vegas, and then we hopped over to LA for a couple of days. So I was on the West Coast with warmer weather while you guys were in Atlanta, where the folks were in Atlanta on the East Coast were freezing. I was out there. So I was in Vegas. I'm a huge Michael Jackson fan, so I got to see a Michael Jackson impersonator. That was pretty freaking awesome. And then going over to LA and just spending some time, Beverly Hills, Hollywood, et cetera, et cetera. And then I'm back to my life. And so rather than getting back into, bogged down and feeling the weight of 2022, I'm just really focused on creating more of those moments in 2023. So if you're listening to this, if you made it all the way to the end, I would love for you to share some of your highlights for 2022 so we can kick off the year in a place of gratitude. That's it for me. I'll catch you guys on the flip side.